Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Lainey. This is Big Girls Really Do Cry, and this is the Positivity Plan Step 3. But before we go into Step 3, I really hope that you managed to complete Step 2, that you were able to write down all of the things that you love, that you like, that you do, from music to films to things that you do, from reading to taking baths, things that help you relax, all the people in your life. And I hope that you've managed to write it all down into your positivity plan, into your notes, so that something you can see physically, you can read, that you've managed to create a playlist of music, maybe on your phone, on your laptop, or on YouTube, which you're able to do as well, and that you've continued to fill in the back with all the positive things every day, marking them down, whether it be one thing, 10 things, 2 things, whatever it is, any positives from that day, mark it down in your book. And then I hope you managed to do the mini challenges that I set you with trying something new, also taking out that time to do something for you, that sort of pamper, and a little bit of a spring clean. I spring cleaned my other, well, you can't see my other room, but in the other room, with the help of my daughter, we've been sorting bits of that out. Going to do some more of that tomorrow as well. So yeah, I hope you managed to get on with that simply enough, and if anyone does have any questions about it, please get in touch with us. So moving on to Step 3. Now, Step 3 is something that you do when you feel it's right for you. I know that I've condensed this into a matter of 3, well, it'll be 4 weeks, because I'm going to do a live about it, but I'll talk more about that at the end. I've condensed this into sort of over 3 weeks really, for the different steps, and it's about doing this last part when you feel ready. And the thing is there may be things that you're not quite ready to deal with yet. So what you need now is you need to get your jar or envelope or wherever you put all your bits of paper, and then unlock it, which I've already done to this, and then place your hand in, go around and pick out one of your slips of paper, which I've got, and then just put the lid back on that. I don't suppose I have to lock it right now, do I not? Just put it down for a second. Right, now the aim is to open this up and then read what it says. Okay, so mine says, will I be able to think of my parents with happy memories? I miss them so much and my head and heart hurt. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write what it says on here onto a piece of paper, or in a book. Now they use a notebook, but just a scrap piece of paper that gives you room to write underneath. Be able to think of right. So for those of you who know, I lost my parents last year, and the lead up to their death, not only obviously their death, but the lead up to their death was very hard, and there was things that happened within that I am struggling with, because I just feel like it shouldn't have happened that way. There was a lot of issues around, medical issues around what happened to them. Now I have looked at this, and I can talk about my mum and dad, but if I think about them, it makes me very sad. And it sounds weird to say that, because I can talk about them without thinking of them, but I can't think of them. And I have so many amazing memories that I want to be able to access just them, and rather than just thinking of the last few months of their life or few weeks of their life, and that is what I'm struggling with at the moment. So what I want you to do is obviously write down your question. When you're ready, put it down onto paper, and then ask yourself a set of questions. Now, I've wrote a few questions down to ask myself with regards to this. They may or may not be relevant, and they may or may not be relevant to what you're trying to deal with, or your worry or stress or whatever it is. So the first one I've got is this possible? I do believe it will be possible. I do believe it will. I have to believe that it will be possible. One of the things that keep me going in terms of this is the fact that I know how my mum and dad would be. They'd want me to be happy. They'd want me to feel good. They'd want me to not dwell on things like that and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I look at when I think about it. The other thing is, I had 40 odd years of amazing parents and amazing memories that I don't want the last few months to affect that, and it shouldn't. It's that sort of thing, isn't it? We hear 500 positives, hear one negative, and it's some sort of switch, isn't it, that happens. Is it something I need to accept even temporarily? I'm managing to get through it, but probably because I'm not thinking about it, probably because I'm looking at it from an outside point of view, and whether that's because there was just so much last year, so much heartache, so much devastation, that I don't know if my brain's just come. I don't know if it's like a sort of it's a way of coping by sort of like not emotionally involving myself, which is weird to say because of my parents. Next one is this something from your past that's mattering your future? I would say this is still pretty raw, and it's still, it obviously was back end of last year. It's not even 6 months ago. So no, I don't think that counts for this one. Then there's what can you do to change it? I have already tried to put steps in terms of, I think I need help from a professional for this, whether that's grief counselling or something else, I'm not sure, but I've took those steps to do that, because I think I need to. I know I'm going to have to face all of it, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to have to think about it to get through it. But I really want to be able to. I really want to be able to have those happy memories back and not think of the other things. Whether I need to do something more with that, I don't know. It says, is there anyone I can call to get help with this? Well, yeah, I have done that. I mean, that could also mean like a friend and stuff, but I think it's more serious. Although friends would obviously be nice to me and agree with me probably in anything, like, or give me advice and stuff. I do think that I need to look at the professional route. And the last one is, do I need professional help to help me to come to terms with or deal with this? And that is true. So the writing it down, obviously, you know, underneath I would put I would answer all the questions I've just said. So is this possible? Yes. Is this realistic? Yes. Is this something I need to accept temporarily? I don't really think that counts as such, although I am dealing with it temporarily, if that makes sense. Is this something from the past mapping my future? I don't think that's a relevant question, really. What can I do to change it? And then obviously, had I not already sought and looked for professional help, or if there was someone asking a similar question in the same position, then I would suggest that that's what they did, you know, and not be afraid to do so, you know, like there's no shame in that. There's no shame in getting help. There's no shame in dealing with things like this, and you know, allowing yourself yeah, there's no shame in it anyway. Is there anyone I can call to get help with this, and do I need professional help to come to terms with or deal with it? Which, yes, this is what I'm going to do. I've already set the ball rolling for that. In fact, I think it's in about 10 days time when I have my first appointment, so hopefully that'll help with this. And I know, like I said, I've got to come to terms with it. I've got to go through and deal with it and actually face it, and you know, and I know that's going to be hard. It really will be. I know it will, but I know my parents would be telling me I can do it, and moving me forward and in any way they could. So yeah, that was one of mine. Now, when you open yours, if the first one you bring out is something that maybe is still too hard for you to look at, you can put it back. You know, don't worry about doing that, and try something else a bit smaller. I mean, I'm going to quickly grab another one, just go through. Right. Oh, dropped it. Pick it back up. Okay. So this one, what does this say? Okay. This says, worried about having my gallbladder removed. I was supposed to have my pre-assessment, I think it was the day after my mum died, or my dad, I'm not sure which one, but I was supposed to have my pre-assessment that day. Obviously I cancelled it because of everything that was happened. I wasn't in the right frame of mind to deal with that as well. And yeah, I am worried about it, and I am scared and all that, because, you know, being bigger, there is worries. But I also know that it's something that needs to be done, and that they wouldn't risk doing it if the risk was too great. And you know, I need to ring up about it and get it sorted. So again, just writing it down, and then writing down what needs to be done. So that is, and I can use mindfulness, positive thinking. I know it'll be fine. I know I'll be okay. You know, that kind of things. It's sort of feeding the positiveness within your own self to know that everything will be fine. And like I said, they wouldn't push through that if the risk was too great, etc., etc. I would like to lose a bit more weight beforehand, which I can do until the run up. I assume it'll be at least another 3 months. I'm not really sure, but that's only something I'll find out when I telephone up. But I think what I'll do is I'll wait until after my first mental health appointment and see how I am, you know what I mean, and then look into getting that phone call made to start the ball rolling again. Yeah. Now, as I said, just go through them one at a time. It may be something that is ongoing. You can put it back in the drawer as ongoing until it's actually done. So I can put this back in the drawer about my gallstones. I can put my parents' one back in the jar about that, or I can write a different question. You know what I mean? Because I could put like need to ring up and rebook it, and then for my parents' one, once I've had my first appointment, I could have a different question, or I can put them to one side, because essentially I have looked at them and read them and have a plan of action of how to deal with them and change them. And that is what this is about, and doing it in a way that works for you. So maybe you could only look at one once a week. Maybe you could look at one, think that one's too hard, put it back, get a different one. Maybe you're able to do 2 a week. Whichever works for you, just do it one at a time. Look at the questions and look to see if what you're asking is something realistic. So for instance, with me being in the wheelchair, is it possible that I'll walk again? Now, right now, no. Right now it's not possible that I'll walk again. However, there is an option of me getting my knees done that could give me a chance, but no one knows how big a chance that will be. No one knows when that'll happen. So is it realistic for me to just dwell on the fact that I can't walk? Is it realistic for me to hope that maybe one day I will? Yes, I think it's realistic that I do hope one day that I will walk again. But I do also think that, is this something I need to accept even temporarily? Yes. And I have accepted it. I mean, I'm just using this as an example, but I have accepted the fact. And that doesn't mean to say that when you accept the fact that means you're never ever going to feel upset by it or down by it, because that's not true. 99.9% of the time I'm fine. I go out in the wheelchair, do what I can, and that's what it's about. It's about focusing on what I can do and doing what I can do and enjoying that, and even pushing the boundaries within that. But it's also accepting that sometimes I'm just annoyed that I can't turn my own light out, or that I can't answer the door because someone's knocking and no one else is here, or that I've dropped something on the floor and I can't reach it. Sometimes them things really get to me, really do, and it might last an hour, it might last half an hour, it might last 3 hours, but eventually I pull myself back up and think, again, go back to focusing on what I can do and not what I can't do. Because if I constantly focus on those things that I can't do, I'm never ever going to get anywhere, ever, and I'll just be sad constantly. In robo bitches, I call my wheelchair, gives me the ability to have some freedom. Alright, I need help to get in it, I need help to get out of it, but when I'm outside, I can go by myself and do, pretty much, and get to anywhere myself pretty much, and enjoy the outside and doing the bits that I can do and working out, which way to go to somewhere and things like that. But I've gone shopping, gone to the beach, gone into town, gone to the parks, and that's what I'm doing. I'm focusing on all the things I can do, and it really helps. It really helps. So yeah, I think that's everything really. The other thing I wanted to talk about at the minute was being responsible for your own happiness, which might sound, I don't know, might sound, some people might be going, oh, or whatever, but there's a massive thing about taking responsibility for your own happiness. No one else can make you happy but you. other people, that might sound wrong, or people might be thinking, well, yeah, they can if they buy a bunch of flowers and a box of chocolates and making us happy. Yeah, but I mean, like, deep down, if you know what I mean. And I know that all of us have been through something or other. All of us have had things happen because of someone else, right? So whether that's trauma from your childhood, whether that's a marriage breakdown, whether that's a friendship breakdown, whatever it is, you know, and the other person has been to blame, right? And so you're stuck in this place because you want them to take the responsibility for your unhappiness because this is what they did to you, and that's never going to happen. It's never going to make you happy, because only you can make you happy, regardless of what they did, regardless of whether you were married and they had an affair, regardless of whether you were bullied as a child, regardless of whether, and I'm not putting light on these things. What I'm trying to explain is that your happiness comes from you, and the thing is if you put the responsibility for your happiness on someone else, then that also gives them the power. You're putting the power in their hands too, so you're always going to be stuck in that place because they have that power or they have that control. And in order sometimes to move forward, it's rather than looking for an apology that you're never going to get, or the answers that you're never going to get, it's about taking responsibility for yourself and saying, well, do you know what, this might have happened to us, that might have happened to us, but I'm going to be happy and I'm going to move forward from that. And I'm not saying that you may not need help with that, you may, you know, and please do seek professional help, but hopefully one day you'll be able to move forward. And even though those things still happened, that you're not focusing on those things, and instead you've took responsibility and you're moving forward with your life, rather than staying in a place that's keeping you there because you want someone to take responsibility for what they did and how they spoiled your life. It as much as, like, it's not that simple, you know what I mean? Like, what, life doesn't work, and it would be good if it did. Be like, yeah, I was a twat, I'm really sorry. You know, that doesn't stop what happened. Even if someone apologizes, even if someone takes responsibility, it doesn't take away what happened. So, you know, you have the power to make you happy, and whether that needs help to do that, then, you know, find that help, get that help. And you might not even, the first psychologist you come along, or first psychiatric nurse that you come along, may not be the right one for you. You know, keep trying to fight for that. Okay, I hope that didn't go too, yeah, I don't know, but I hope you got the point of what I was trying to say anyway. Anyway, moving on again. I have no mini challenges as such, but what I would like you all to do is send me a question. I'm going to do some sort of Q&A. I'm going to go through a few more of my worries and stuff. I could go through some of yours if you wish. I'm obviously not professional. I just want you, doing it in a way to look at it from a different point of view, if that makes sense. You know, I'm not doing it to be professional, and I do hope that anyone who does require professional help, that they do, you know, make that telephone call, send that email, or whatever it is that you need to do to help yourself. So yeah, if so what, as I was saying, was I'm going to do a live. I'm going to go through a few more of my own worries and write those down and talk about them live. I also would like any questions. You can ask Q&A, any questions about me, any questions about positivity, any questions about how or what your issues are. If you want, you can be anonymous. You can write them in the bottom of this in the comments below, or you can send them to my email, which is also below, and ask me not to mention you by name, which is fine. Like I said, I'm not professional, but it's just giving a different viewpoint on making you see a positive, or trying to move forward in something that you may find hard. I'm also going to do hopefully a little bit of stuff on anxiety, mindfulness, fear, failure. As much as people are scared of failure is actually a good thing, but I'll talk about that next week. But yeah, so it'll be sometime the following Monday. So this Monday is the 15th, so it'll be sometime, is it the 22nd? Right, I'll just check that. Yeah, the 22nd. So sometime on the 22nd. I'm not sure of the time as yet, because I'm filming this on the Saturday before. I'm filming this on the 13th. So yeah, so I'm not sure what time is yet, but I will come up with a time. And obviously if you can't be there for the live, you can be there. If anyone wants to come on and join in the live and talk about positivity, and if it's changed your life, or you want to talk about some things with regards to it, that's fine. And any questions, please, like I said, send us them either below, send us them privately, or through Instagram, whichever way. Whether you want your name mentioned or not, please let me know. And yeah, hopefully we can just spread that bit more positivity before the end of this. And I hope you've understood all about what I'm trying to do here, and I hope that you have a fabulous week. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.